Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. We did it. We made it to OJ again. I know we were off for 2 days, but that other case is, we had to see that other case too. And it had to work. So now we're going back to OJ. Don't worry, I'm sure we didn't miss much. I don't even remember where we are. They are just leaving a sidebar. So I can't remember what the sidebar was about. Probably something not very important. Here we go.
All right, thank you, counsel. You may proceed. People's 32.
Thank you, Your Honor. Here, folks.
The manager of the restaurant. The manager.
People's 32. Do you recognize the handwriting on the front of this envelope?
Yeah, that's my handwriting.
Do you recognize, is this the handwriting that you put on this envelope on the night of June the 12th, 1994?
Yes.
And it says prescription glasses, Nicole Simpson. We'll pick up Monday?
Yes.
Now, looking inside the envelope, can you see the glasses that are inside?
Yes.
Do you recognize those?
Yes.
How do you recognize them?
Well, they look like the glasses I picked up off the street.
And this is the envelope that you placed behind the bar?
Yes.
Now, after you had that conversation with Mrs. Brown, and you placed the envelope behind you at the bar, did you get another phone call?
Yes.
About how long after the first phone call did you get the second phone call?
About 5 minutes.
Would you estimate then about 9:45?
Yes.
Did you recognize the person who called you?
Yes, I did.
Who was that?
It was Nicole.
Nicole?
Yes.
And where were you in the restaurant when you got that call?
I was standing near the bar. Both of our phones are on the bar, so I was at either one end or the other.
And you had a conversation with Nicole?
Yes.
Was it concerning the glasses?
Yes.
Did she ask you to do something with respect to those glasses?
She told me... Well, can you repeat that?
Yeah. Did she ask you to do something with those glasses?
No, she asked if she could speak to Ron, but she didn't tell me what to do with the glasses.
Okay. Ron Goldman?
Yes.
And did you then speak to Ron Goldman?
Yes.
What did you do?
I went over to where he was sitting and I told him that he had a phone call.
Did he speak on the phone?
He did, yes.
Could you hear what he was saying?
No, I didn't hear exactly what he was saying, no.
But you could tell he was speaking?
Yes.
Now, when he came over to take the phone, was he still wearing his waiter's uniform?
No, he wasn't.
How did he look different?
He had taken his vest and his tie off.
Other than that, what was he wearing?
He was wearing black pants and white up on top.
White dress shirt?
Yeah.
So he was still wearing that much of the uniform?
Yes.
Now, after he spoke for a while on the phone, what did he do?
He hung around for a couple of minutes, and then he asked me to give him the glasses, and I did.
What has been marked as people's 30. White dress shirt. what appears to be a black pair of dress pants. The jury see this. Do you recognize what we're showing you here?
Yes.
What is it?
It's Ron's shirt and pants. Oh, yeah. No, okay.
After he hung up the phone, did Ron say something to you?
Yeah, he told me he was going to drop the glasses off at Nicole's.
Did he tell you he was on his way to somewhere?
He was on his way to meet a couple of guys from work at Baja Cantina.
And do you know where Baja Cantina is?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in Marina Del Rey.
So did you give him the envelope with the glasses?
Yes.
Did you see him leave the restaurant at some point?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall about what time it was?
He left at about 10 minutes to 10.
Do you recall what exit he left through?
He left through the side exit that goes out onto Gorham.
Do you recall who was tending bar that night?
Stewart was tending bar.
Stuart Tanner?
Yes.
And you recall seeing Ron actually leave the restaurant at 10 minutes to 10?
Yeah, I saw him walk out the door.
And was that the last time you saw him?
Yes.
Orange juice.
Your Honor, this is a time card I'd ask be marked People's 36.
All right, People's 36 time card.
You can see it on your monitor. Okay. Do you recognize what's being shown there?
Yes, it's a time card.
All right. And is that Ron Goldman's time card?
Yes.
And that's for the week ending June the 12th?
Yes.
Can you see Sunday, June the 12th indicated on that card?
Yes.
And it shows that he came in what time?
He came in at 4:30.
And that he clocked out at what time?
He clocked out at 9:33.
Then he was hanging around the restaurant for a while before he actually left when you saw him leave at about 9:50.
Yes.
Can I show you one more picture?
at this moment?
As soon as they fix this.
All right.
I don't
Ms.
understand.
Crawford, do you recognize what's being depicted in this photograph?
It's an envelope.
Does it appear to be the same envelope that you placed the glasses of Mrs. Brown in on the night of June the 12th and that you gave to Ron Goldman to take to Nicole?
It looks like it, yes.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Yes. And
Then you should eat salmon, Anthony. Got good vitamins for mental health. Marsha's wearing red for Valentine's Day. She knows. Yay, Nancy. I know tomorrow's Valentine's Day, but close enough.
all right, thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Clark, have you concluded your examination of Ms. Crawford?
Yes, Your Honor, I've concluded direct.
Mr. Shapiro?
Your Honor, I wonder if we're done with the exhibits, if we could just have Ms. Clark retrieve those. There are some
Yes.
photographs that I'm not going to need, and also the envelope that I will.
All right, why don't you retrieve that, Ms. Clark? Thank you.
Yeah. Ms. Crawford?
Hi.
I have to ask you a few questions, and I will not ask you any questions that upset you. The documents that you were shown by Ms. Clark, specifically the check for dinner,
Yes.
when is the first time you've seen that?
When is the first time I've seen it?
Yes.
I believe today.
And where did you see it?
Where did I see it? I saw it here.
And the receipt for the payment of the bill, when is the first time you saw that?
Today.
And where did you see it?
Here.
And the time card, when is the first time you saw that?
I may have seen it earlier in the week of the week ending June 12th. I added them up on June 12th.
So that one you had seen before.
Yes.
In adding up that time card for Mr. Goldman, did you notice anything that was incorrect on the time card?
Well, I see where I had added it up in one section, and it had been re-added again.
Did you also see that on one date there was a time that there was a stamped in for work but no stamping out of work?
I don't remember noticing that.
You don't remember noticing that? May I borrow the exhibit for a moment, Your Honor? May I approach the witness?
You may.
That's normal. Happens all the time.
Was there an indication as to whether or not Wednesday was a working day?
Wednesday. Well, there's a stamp in, and I don't know exactly whether or not he worked that day. Maybe someone accidentally punched in on his time card and realized that it was not their card. That's a possibility. Maybe he punched in and they didn't need him and he just left and he didn't punch out. Maybe he was just there for a few minutes. I can't tell you for sure what that is. He may have worked and forgotten to punch out.
Do you have any personal knowledge that the times on that time punch machine were accurate on June the 12th?
Can you repeat that? Do I have personal knowledge of what?
When you put that card in, it goes into a machine. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that machine indicates a time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have any personal information as to whether or not that machine was accurately recording the times on June the 12th?
No.
When you got the phone call from Mrs. Judith Brown, had you ever talked to her on the phone before?
I don't believe I'd ever talked to her on the phone, no.
And Nicole Brown Simpson, had you ever talked to her on the phone before?
I don't remember if I had or not, no.
You say she was a regular at the restaurant.
Yes?
How often would she come in?
Well, in the course of a year, I'd seen her about 4 times. And I would consider that to be regular. I'd heard of other times she had been in on nights that I hadn't worked.
On this particular night when you were the manager, did you see her greet Ron Goldman when she and her party arrived at the Mezzaluna restaurant?
Yes.
And how did she greet him?
I just think she said hello. And I'm not sure exactly what she did.
Did they hug?
They may have.
Did they kiss?
I don't think so, no.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
When you went to get Ron Goldman, that was at the request of Nicole.
Long but great.
Yes.
And where was Ron when you went to get him?
He was sitting at the first table by the front door.
And what was he doing?
He was sitting talking to the 2 other managers,
Who are they?
John and Richard.
Did you previously testify that they were all having dinner together?
I don't think so. John and Richard were having dinner.
You indicated they were having dinner and Mr. Goldman was with them?
Yeah, I think he went over there just for a couple of minutes to hang out.
Did you see Mr. Goldman eat at all that evening?
Yay,
No, I
Kelly.
didn't.
May I just have one moment?
How's Mom, Nancy?
Transcript of previous testimony by Karen Lee Crawford, cross-examination by myself. It's page 12. However, again, I have underlined it. I wonder if the district attorney would object to me showing this or would like another copy to be shown to the witness. Page 12. No. May I approach the witness, Your Honor? Thank you very much. Ms. Crawford, would you just take a moment to review your testimony previously given? And I want to direct you to line 22 through line 28, please.
Yes?
Do you recall being asked the following questions by me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, let me give you the questions, okay?
Well, objection, the witness is being asked to refresh her memory. Counsel doesn't need to read this piece of record. She was refreshing her memory, and now she can testify what counsel wants.
I will. Mr. Shapiro.
Yes, were you asked the following question? When you went to call Ron Goldman to the phone, where was he? Answer, he was sitting at table 101, which is the very first table to the left of the front entrance. Question, who was he with, if anyone? Answer, he was sitting with John and Richard. John DeBello, the manager, and Richard Arbolino. Question, what were they doing? Answer, they were having dinner. Do you recall being asked those questions to give you those answers?
Yes.
Ms. Clark?
Anthony, do you have like a counselor or something at the VA that you can talk to? Is there someone you can call? Like when the office opens today, that you can talk to?
Redirect.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Crawford, is yourself and the waiters, are they all paid by the hour?
Yes.
So the hours that you're paid for are measured by the time clock,
Yes.
the one you punch in and out of.
Yes.
And so minutes would be very important
Yes.
to be accurate on that, would they not?
That's right.
So is there an effort made to make sure that that time clock remains accurate for the purpose of measuring what everyone gets paid?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, was that time clock accurate on the night of June the 12th?
Can you call and request someone else?
Yes.
And were you able to see if Mr. Goldman was eating anything that night when you saw him sitting with Mr. DeBello and the other gentleman?
No, John and Richard were having dinner, but Ron wasn't.
Did you notice whether Ron was drinking anything?
I don't remember.
Did you know him to drink mineral water at the Mezzaluna frequently?
Yes.
Was that his pretty much drink of choice?
That was his drink of choice.
What was your understanding of the nature of the relationship between Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown?
My understanding of it was that it was very casual at most.
In other words, did you ever come to the understanding that they were lovers?
No.
Just knew each other?
Yes.
Do you recall whether or not do you have any present recollection as to whether or not they hugged each other when they saw each other that night?
No.
Do you have any present recollection as to whether they exchanged a kiss on the cheek that night?
No, I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I mean, you just ask for a different counselor. They're used to it. It's a normal thing to do. It's like dating. You don't just marry the first person you date. This is an intimate relationship you're having with them. So you can look around and you can talk to different people until you find one that clicks with you. That's all they care about, is someone that clicks with you. If you can find that one person, I think you should call today. I don't know what times. I don't know. You're in Eastern Standard Time, so you could call in 7 minutes. Can you do that? Call in 7 minutes and just take the first step to getting your meds and getting a new counselor. And text and Discord once you've done that. I want to know the second you've called. You might not be able to get through. You might not be able to finish what you plan to do today, but I want you to just take the first step. Call the VA. See if you can get some meds. See if you can get a counselor today. Okay? Text and Discord. Once you're done that, I just want to know that you've done it. Or text and Discord if you have a problem doing it. We'll work through the problem together.
Oh, one more thing. With respect to this time card,
Leave a comment on this video then. Go into YouTube, leave a comment on this video, and let me know that you've done it.
do you recognize any of the handwriting at the bottom of that card?
Yes.
And what is it you recognize?
I see my handwriting and someone else's handwriting.
Where's your handwriting?
My handwriting is in the bottom left. And
The bottom left
bottom
as we
right.
face it, or the bottom?
It's at the bottom of the time card on the left side.
What number is that?
It's crossed out. And then there's a corrected number on the right-hand side on the bottom, 2650.
Is that your handwriting?
Yes.
Because you totaled that card.
Yes.
I have nothing further.
Any recross, Mr. Shapiro?
Just very, very briefly, did you ever personally ask Nicole Brown Simpson what her relationship was with Ronald Goldman?
No.
Did you ever ask Ronald Goldman what his relationship was with Nicole Brown Simpson?
No.
Thank you. Nothing further.
All right, Ms. Crawford, just one quick question. You testified that Tia was the server reflected on the credit card receipt or on the dinner receipt. Was that Tia Gavin?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Crawford, I'm going to excuse you from further attendance today. I'm going to direct you not to discuss your testimony with anybody other than the lawyers in the case until the case is over. All right, thank you very much for coming in.
If you don't mind, before we excuse her, may I confer with counsel?
Certainly, don't go away. Ms. Clark.
Anthony, that's the link to my Discord. So if you just click that, create an account, you do not have to download the app. You can do it all right in the browser if you want to. Or you can download the app. We all use the app. Some use the browser. There's someone in there all of the time. And there's a whole military tab, so you can talk with people who are in the military and understand. There's a whine away tab where you can just go and whine for as long as you want about anything, and there's always people in there. There's a general where you could just, talk generally to everybody. There's a memes tab where you can laugh at my funny memes because they're so funny. You can also private message people. So try to get into Discord if you can. There's always people in there.
Briefly identify and authenticate this exhibit that's from the council. And I said, mark people's next letter, people's 37.
All right, People's 37 chart reflecting.
This is the time by Ron Goldman.
All right.
Showing you people's 37 is Crawford. You recognize what we're showing you?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. And if I might ask you one additional question.
Lots of people struggle to get on Discord. So it will help you. We'll walk you through it. We'll help you get there.
Yes.
Can you see these initials here, KC?
Yes.
Are those yours?
Those are mine.
You put those on there?
Yes.
Thank you, Warren.
Any questions as to the initials?
No, thank you very much, Ms. Crawford.
All right, Ms. Crawford, thank you very much. Next witness.
Thank you. If you'd like to recall Tia Gavin briefly.
All right. Yes. Would you approach the witness stand again, please? All right, Ms. Gavin, we released you as a witness, so I have to have you resworn.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you may give in the call shall be to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please have a seat. The witness stand. Please state your first and last name for the record.
Tia, T-I-A, Gavin, G-A-V-I-N.
Ms. Clark.
Thank you, Your Honor. Showing you what has been marked as People's 33. Do you recognize what I'm showing you?
It's a check from our restaurant.
Okay. And remember we talked about the NCR, or did we talk to you about that?
Yes.
Okay. And is that a machine where you said you punched in the order and
Yeah.
then it would total up?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recognize that particular one?
It looks like it would be right for that table, for the Browns table. I don't remember ever having seen the check since that evening, so I wouldn't remember exactly, but it certainly looks very appropriate for 10 people, and it's got the ball of Gatnar on it that I mentioned before. And so it looks right.
So that appears to be the piece of paper that NCR prints out for the night of June the 12th when you served Nicole Brown and her party.
Yes. Oh, and it's the right table number as well. I just noticed. Yes.
So you're sure that's the one?
Yeah.
You see your name on it too,
Yes.
indicating that you were the server?
Yes.
And so does that accurately indicate the food that was served to that party?
It would. Yes.
You just told us that the number of people in the party numbered 10,
Yes.
but it shows there that the number of guests was 9. Can you explain to us why?
Often when we wait on children, since they don't order full orders of food, we'll count 2 little children as 1 adult.
Now, have I ever shown you this piece of paper before?
No.
Have we ever discussed this piece of paper before?
No.
Right now is the first time.
Yes.
By the way, do you happen to know whether or not the time and date stamp by that NCR machine on that piece of paper is accurate or not?
It says June 13th, 94, 7:04 a.m. So it couldn't be correct if it says a.m.
And the date that you
And-
served Nicole Brown and her party, the only time you ever served them, that was June the 12th, wasn't it?
That's correct.
So both the date and the time are wrong on that.
Yes.
Now, when you close out the bill, in other words, when you total it up,
Mm-hmm.
does it stamp again?
Yes.
Can you turn it over?
Mm-hmm.
You see at the top of that bill?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to put it on the monitor so everybody can follow along what you're saying. You don't mind? You'll be able to see it on the monitor right by you.
The good old days where we just wrote the ticket and gave it to the kitchen.
Okay. See at the top of that document where it says June 13th, 8:18 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay, and you indicated before that's not accurate. You did not complete serving them dinner at 8:18 a.m.
No.
Okay. But that time
That wouldn't help because they said they didn't save the stomach contents.
indicated to you that that's when you rang up the total?
Up here where it says cash at the very top,
Right.
I believe that would be the time that the check was cashed out, which would be after it would be paid, if the time were correct. But that when the time prints up there, if the time were correct, it would be printing up the time that I was cashing out the bill, which would mean that the bill was paid and that they had presumably left.
Now, they may not have left right away.
No, or they just paid their bill and I had closed it out.
Now, the fact that you have cash up there, does that mean that they paid you in cash?
No, we close out all the checks to cash.
Now, I'm showing you what's been marked as People's 34. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do. It's a credit card receipt from our restaurant.
See the amount of $179.95?
Yes?
That was the same amount on People's 33 that you just saw?
Yes, it was.
So does this reflect the method of actual payment for the bill by Nicole Brown?
Yes, it would.
And what was the method of payment?
Credit card and American Express.
And the signature appears to be that of Nicole Brown?
It says Nicole Brown, yes.
Okay. Is it your habit and custom to give this receipt to the customer, have them fill in the gratuity, and total it, and then sign it?
Yes.
See the timestamp there? 7:12 p.m.?
Yes.
Is that in fact when Nicole and her party left or paid?
No, they couldn't have. They arrived at 6:45-ish, so
So this time is also inaccurate.
yes.
Now, you earlier indicated, with respect to your time card, been marked previously as people's...
Anthony, we can help you. We've all been through it. It's very frustrating, but we can help you. Do you know if you were able to create a login account, or is that where you were having problems? Because if you're just having problems getting to mine, you just need a better password. But do it when you can. Do it when you can.
26? 36? Her time card? No, that's wrong. 28? Thanksgiving. Push it up Sunday? You indicated that is this your time card, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. You indicated earlier that you clocked in on Sunday, June the 12th at 5:02 and clocked out at 9:58. Is that time clock accurate?
Yes, it is.
And those times reflected on your time card are accurate?
Yes, and yeah, we came in at 4:30. I mean, the waiters were staggered. You're scheduled at 4:35 and 5:30. So, besides the fact that this is the way my memory is, that's the way we were scheduled. to
And so
arrive.
you know that it's accurate?
Yes, because I was scheduled to arrive then. So,
Thank you very much. I'd ask at this time, Your Honor, if I may substitute this original time card for the Xerox copy I'd previously used. I've been given permission. Ms. Luna will release these for a court exhibit.
All right. Sorted. Thank you, Counsel.
I'm
All
nothing
right, do anything further from Ms. Gavin?
Nothing further.
Mr. Shapiro?
No, thank you, Ms. Gavin, please. Mrs. Gavin.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Gavin. All right, let's take a brief 15-minute court reporter recess. We'll resume at 3:30. All right.
With regard to the next witness, we'd like an offer of proof, and if that witness is present, I'd like for the witness to step out, and then we want to have an argument with the witness.
All right, can you have your witness step outside, please?
Because, Anthony, sometimes you need to reach out for help right away. Discord is 24/7. My streams are once a day with a whole bunch of strangers texting. Discord's different. Discord, you have 24/7 people right away.
All right, Ms. Clark, who's your next witness?
My next witness, Your Honor, is Kim Goldman. She will testify that she found the uniform that has been marked as People's 30 in Ron Goldman's apartment hanging over a door inside his apartment on June the 15th when she went to collect his things.
And that's the items that have previously been marked as, was it 31?
I thought it was
The
30.
bag?
No,
I'm sorry.
30?
Number 30. Mr. Cochran?
Right here?
Certainly.
With regard to this item, Your Honor, the court will recall, we approached this before, it seems that Ms. Clark would like to show the clothes to every witness who comes in. This is not a particular moment in this case in the final analysis. We're willing to stipulate. Ms. Goldman would stipulate as to where she found the particular clothing and save some time. Each witness to be shown the pants and the clothes that he was not wearing later on that evening, and I think that it's a 352 problem after a period of time, and I just wanted to try and save some time in that regard. If it might be more persuasive to have called Ms. Goldman had she not seen fit to show these clothes to Ms. Crawford, and then to show them to another person before that. So it'll be 3 times a day we've seen a white shirt and some black pants. And I think we do reach the point where there's no chain of custody and no argument on this particular point. So why then would they continue showing them? I could speculate, but I don't think I need to do that. And I would ask the court to either accept that stipulation so we can move on.
People?
Yes, Your Honor, what Mr. Cochran wants to do is stipulate away to anything that might personalize the case and make an indication that there is a real person, human being associated with the name Ron Goldman.
That aspect so much, Ms. Clark. What is the probative value of this proffer?
Yeah, first of all, let me indicate to the court, I'm not going to take the clothing out of the bag. The witness brought the bag in. She can tell us what the contents are and where she found them, but the offer of proof is to indicate that he did go home and change clothes, that these clothes were found out loose, that he changed in a hurry, and they were found hanging off a door because he was found in other clothing at the crime scene.
Is that relevant to some timing issue?
Yes?
How so?
Because he left the restaurant at 10 of 10, and it is the people's contention that the murders occurred roughly around 10:15 to 10:20. It will indicate that there was not a large amount of time spent in his apartment before he departed for Bundy. So it goes to the amount of time and the manner in which the clothing was found. Clothing found in disarray as opposed to neatly placed in a hamper, this kind of thing would indicate...
Neatly placed in a hamper?
Well, you know,
No one neatly
put away.
places anything in the
The
hamper.
clothing was left draped over a door, which indicates that it was done hurriedly.
All right, Mr. Cochran.
That is the rankest form of speculation. If they'd done their job in investigating this case, they would have perhaps determined whether or not Mr. Goldman had taken time to take a shower or whatever. They can't speculate and tell whether that happened. We know that he changed clothes. And that's the relevant thing. It's only now we find out that it's not going to be taken out of the bag. It would have been better if she hadn't taken out of the bag those other 2 times. She'd have sounder ground to stand on. So the proffer is, all I'm saying, Your Honor, is that we're willing to stipulate where they were found and to move on. Everything else is speculative. And now we find the change of the time of death is starting to move backwards. When they had the opening statement, it was 10:15. Now it's 10:15 or 10:20. Before we finish, it's going to be 11 o'clock. And that's where we're going. And so it seems to me this is all speculation. We should try this case based upon the evidence, without the prosecution whining and moaning. And let's just get it over with. And without taking things out of bags with every witness. Let's just try this case and stop, engaging in tricks and legerdemain.
Your Honor, I really
Well, Ms. Clark, hold on. Ms. Clark. All right, Ms. Clark, please. Thank you. Maybe that objection was better suited to the last 2 witnesses rather than this witness. But if this is the witness who found it and the manner in which he found it and timing is an issue, it is relevant. It does have probative value. But I take it this is very short.
Very short.
All right.
Not on the bag, Your Honor, she got representation.
That's a representation I have.
Right.
Let's proceed. Objections overruled.
Let me indicate for the record, Your Honor, that if I didn't take the clothing out of the bag for the other witnesses to see, they couldn't testify to whether he wore those clothes that night. It was
Well,
shown when he was
all they can say is he wore something like that. Black pants and a white shirt. This is more interesting now. All right, let's have the witness, Deputy Browning. Let's have the jury, Deputy McNamara.
call Ms. Kim Goldman.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you may give in the cause not pleading before this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do. Please have a seat in the witness stand and state the spell your first and last name for the record.
Kimberly Goldman, Kimberly Goldman.
Thank you.
Ms. Clark.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Goldman, are you the sister of Ron Goldman?
Yes, I am.
Did you visit his apartment on Gorham shortly after June the 12th?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us when?
The first time was on, I believe, Wednesday, January 15th, day before his funeral.
Click
June
that
15th?
link.
June 15th,
1994?
correct.
And why did you go?
I needed to get a suit for his funeral.
Did you recover some clothing that you brought to court today?
Yes, I did.
And I'm showing you the bag in which we have previously marked as People's 30, the white shirt and the black pants. Do you
Yes, that's
recognize
correct.
those?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell us where you found them?
They were draped over his bedroom door, the shirt and the pants.
Just draped over?
Obviously he'd taken them off and just swung them over the door.
Okay, not on hangers.
No, my father and I put them on the hangers.
Did you see any other white dress shirt or black pants like that
No,
in
I
the
did not.
apartment? Only those?
Only those.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Mr. Carpin. All right. Ms. Goldman, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
excused.
Did you click? There you are.
Next
You
witness.
made it.
Pablo Fendes?
Raise your right hand, please. You do solemnly swear that the testimony you may give in the cause not pleading before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please have a seat in the witness stand and state the spell your first and last name for the record.
My name is Pablo Fenves. That's Pablo Fenjves.
All right, Mr. Fenves, if you would, I'm sorry. There we go. Thank you. Ms. Clark.
Thank you. Mr. Fenves, directing your attention to the date of June the 12th, 1994. As of that date, can you tell us approximately where you lived?
I lived,
Where is that in relationship to 875 South Bundy?
we share a common back alley, and I'm about 60 or 70 yards north.
Let me get you to speak into the microphone.
Thank you. We share a common back alley, and I'm about 60 or 70 yards north of the condo that Nicole Simpson ran.
Can you look at your monitor, sir? Thank you. Can you indicate to us on this photograph where your house would be?
It would be approximately where the police patrol car is parked, just to the left of that.
So just to the left as you face it?
Right,
All
just
right.
to our left.
Okay. And then would 875 South Bundy be this area here that I'm circling, if you can see?
Yes, it appears to me that there's a vehicle parked in the drive of 875.
Okay, thank you. And this is, should mark this photograph as People's next in order. People's 38? 38? People's 38.
All right, People's 38.
Now, what portion of your apartment faces that alley?
It's a three-story building, and the top floor is the master bedroom, which faces the alley. Then there's a kitchen, and then below that, I have my office, and that's pretty well sealed off, and you can't see out into the alley.
If you look out your master bedroom, are you able to see the back of 875 South Bundy?
I'm able to see what seems to be a porch area and a row of windows along the top floor, but that's about all I can see.
I'm sorry, could you repeat your last answer, sir?
I can see a sort of balcony area with a row of windows across what seems to be the top floor or stairwell leading to the top floor.
So your view is limited.
Yes, it is.
Can I get you to keep your voice up?
Yes, it is.
Showing you the map of the Bundy area that's previously marked as People's 26. Can you point out the place where your home is shown?
I think if this is the alley here, this would be my home right here.
Did everybody hear that answer? The jury?
Can you try to say that
Yes.
again?
If this being the alley here, this is my home over here.
And can you show us where 875 South Bundy would be?
I imagine this would be 875 South Bundy.
That red square.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Did you know Nicole Brown, sir?
No, I did not.
Had you seen her before?
Just in the neighborhood, we had a similar jogging route, and I'd seen her in her car pulling into the alley once or twice. That was about it.
Did you know where she lived back in June of 1994?
No, I didn't know where she lived, and I didn't know who she was.
On June the 12th of 1994, sir, in the evening, where were you?
At 10 o'clock that evening, I was watching the news in the master bedroom on the third floor with my wife.
Okay, and that's the master bedroom that faces the alley that you share with 875 South Bundy?
That is correct.
You were watching the 10 o'clock news with your wife?
Yes.
And for how long did you watch the news?
Well, about 15 or 20 minutes into it, I became aware of a barking sound, and then I probably stopped watching the news shortly thereafter.
So it was approximately 15 minutes after the news began that you started to hear a dog barking?
Yes.
Is that bark?
Tell us.
15 or 20 minutes into it, I heard a very distinctive barking coming from somewhere to the south
Anthony,
of
thank
where I
you
live.
so much.
And I was aware of it for maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes, and at that point, I stopped watching the news and I left the master bedroom.
Was there something unusual about that dog barking that drew your attention to it?
It was it was fairly persistent. It was at a significant pitch, and as you may recall, I described it at the time as a plaintive wail. It sounded like a, very unhappy animal.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, sir.
It sounded like a very unhappy animal.
And that's what drew your attention?
Yes, it did.
Had you ever heard dogs barking in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, there's plenty of dogs barking in the neighborhood, but this was, as I said, persistent and unusual and unhappy.
So did you stay and listen to the barking for a while before you went downstairs?
No, I don't recall whether I went and looked. I believe I may have gotten up and looked through the shutters, and then I went downstairs to my office.
About what time was it when you went downstairs to your office?
I'd say around 10:20.
And by that time, you'd heard the dog barking for how long?
As I said, it could have been 5 minutes, it could have been 7, 8 minutes.
When you went downstairs to your office, was the dog still barking?
I don't recall at that point. I was going down the inner stairwell, and I wasn't aware of it. And when I eventually got to my office was pretty soundproof. And I started working, and I was focused on what I was doing. So whether the dog was barking or not, I can't tell you.
At the time that you first heard the dog barking, could you tell from what direction it seemed to be coming?
Yes, it seemed to be coming from basically the area south corner of Dorothy and Bundy.
From this area?
Yes, from that area.
Did you stay?
This picture, because the picture here was not marked or anything, it's from this area.
The objection is foundation.
No foundation.
Thank you.
Do you
Sustained.
sorry. Sir, do you recognize what's depicted in this photograph?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
That is Nicole's house.
From the rear view?
Yes, from the alley view.
And is that where the barking seemed to be coming from, this area?
Objection, that's limiting subjective. Witness says
Sustained.
Dorothy and Bundy.
Sustained. Great question.
Where did the barking seem to be coming from?
It seemed to be coming from the general area of Dorothy and Bundy, and this particular unit was very much in the line of my view.
So that when you went out, well, strike that. You stayed down in your office for how long?
35 minutes, 40 minutes. I came back upstairs at 11 o'clock.
And when you came back upstairs at 11 o'clock, was the barking still audible?
Yes, it was.
Where did you go when you came upstairs at 11 o'clock?
I got in bed.
And when you got in bed, was the dog still barking?
Yes, he was.
What did
Okay, we're going to end this one today. We did an hour. We're going to talk about this dog for a while, I'm sure. The dog barking. Oh, Anthony, those pictures are so cute. Your doggy. Anthony, I do have some missions for you, though. I really do. You got in Discord. So just remember, at any time of the day or night, you can talk in Discord with anybody. Even if you just want to talk about the weather or food or something more heavy. I mean, people talk about all kinds of things in there. So that's good. So your missions, though, call the VA and start your meds. Try to take a step towards taking your meds. And your second mission is come back tomorrow. All right? I'm going to see you tomorrow, right? I'm going to see you in chat tomorrow. I'm going to see you on my stream. And then, yeah, your dog is awesome. All right. Bye, guys. Hope you guys have a great, great, great day. And I will talk to you all again soon. Thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Bye.